Alright guys, quick review. Try to fit everything in here real quick within 10 minutes. It's a 2007 F250 with the 6.7 liter Scorpion made by Ford in there. I'm coming from a 2012 F150, so this is definitely a different experience for me. It's not anything like I would expected, kind of a little bit. The main thing is this solid front axle. Never had one of those, never had to deal with that. Kind of gripe about that a little bit is I think Ford would have done a little bit better on the stabilizing of this thing, because I get a lot of road input to my steering wheel and it pulls on dips and stuff, and I don't know if that's normal or not. You know, dealerships saying, you know, you got to go get a dual stabilizer. So I wish Ford would have just kind of done that to begin with. And I drove a 2017 Ram, it didn't do it as much, and of course the GM I drove is independent front suspension, so it does a lot better. I'm not completely disgusted with it, but it's something that, you know, I wish they would have just upgraded. And I got to get this replaced. They left that shipping crap tape on here, and it baked in the sun over the summer while I was sitting on the lot. And since this truck was sitting on the lot for a while, I did get a really good deal on it. Comes with those wonderful Ranchos, so those will be gone here pretty soon. I'm gonna get some Fox shocks, probably 2-inch leveling. Probably do the Carly kit because it's tuned, the shocks are tuned. Anyway, I like this feature. One of the 3 ways you can open up your tailgate, key fob, and then also in the vehicle. This is one of my Starbucks cup back there. I just went this last week and got the Line X premium liner in here. So a really nice liner, supposed to repel things a lot better than the standard liner. So I'll do a follow-up with that days to come. And I do have the step that comes in here. It's a little sticky right now. I think it's because when they did the bed liner, but I don't think I'm ever really going to use this too much. I've used it a couple times, but I always find myself just hopping up in the bed like I usually do. This is definitely a higher truck than my 2012 F150. I had an FX4 F150 with a 157-inch wheelbase. This is about 160, so not too much of a difference there. I'm already used to it. It's definitely a lot higher, so I feel like I'm on top of the world in this thing. But it will get a leveling kit, slightly larger tires, not too big, because I have the 331 rear in this thing, which it's not too bad. We got a lot of torque in this thing, and I've already stomped on the pedal, and this thing definitely goes. You know, creature features, this is just the basic stuff. 3-person memory for the seat, which is completely useless for me. Even my wife, I'm 6'1", but my wife's 5'8", and she'll probably just scoot up the seat slightly, otherwise not change anything drastic, where it would require having her own little setting on there. And the one thing that a lot of people, they review these spotlights that are on the mirrors. I'm gonna go around to the mirror. And there's a spotlight that's inside of there. It's right in there, LED. Of course, your marker lights are LED as well. So the one thing that you don't need to do, and the dealership told me, and everything has to be running or accessory on to have these spotlights on. That's not true. You just have to have your parking lights on, headlights on, whatever. And it doesn't have to be an accessory mode or nothing. It doesn't have to be dark. It just has to, you know, their lights have to be on. That's it. So you don't have to do all that extra stuff. See, there's the light shining pretty bright there. Haven't had a chance to use them. Have no need to use them. So turn these off. See, turn the lights off. Good to go. The other thing I really do like about this truck, I do have a few gripes. Like I said, the steering inputs really, it's kind of bugging me a little bit. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives. Like this Panoramic Moonroof. Problem is I have a streak going across it right now because it's hanging up on something back there, so I haven't been opening it. I've only had this truck 2.5 weeks, but I'm not going to play around with it too much more because I don't want that to rip. So I'd like the dealership to get in there. I don't know if they can condition that, get that line out, or just take the whole thing out. But I don't know if anyone's experienced having dealerships or anybody take apart your vehicle and fix things. It never really goes back together correctly from like it was from the factory. So I kind of don't want to mess with it. And see if they can just do a fix, and I'll just live with that. I'll live with that streak. The backup, I only have the one camera, which is the backup camera on the tailgate. I don't have the Platinum, nothing like that, so you don't see those extra buttons right up here for the extra features that the Platinum would have, or I think the King Ranch. But I do like it. Comes with it has a little picture of a truck here, and it tells you how close you are on each side. Whereas my Sync 2 system on my F-150, it just had bars like at these boxes at the bottom, and it would just be yellow, green, yellow, red. That's what it told you. It didn't really tell you which side. I think I don't really remember, but I don't believe it did that. But this has a little picture of the truck, tells you what's going on. Not really a big deal, but whatever. And I'm not used to this this push start yet. I find myself trying to looking for a key to put in there, so I'm sure I'll get used to it. And also my F-150 had the shifter in the console, like my wife's Expedition, and every once in a while when we're going somewhere and we have to take the Expedition, I find myself already I'm used to this shift on the tree, because that's all I've had before in trucks. And I had my F-150, my 12 for 5 years. I just traded in, and you think I would have got used to that, but no, I like the old school, just right up there. Seats are super comfy, a lot better than the F-150 for sure. They really soak you in. I mean, they hug you. It's whatever padding they put underneath here, really nice. And the leather is a lot better than the F-150 I came from. And the interior of the cab is roughly the same size. Nothing to jump up and down about. It's the kids' car seats are about the same, so I can still reach back there, and it's still the same. It's still the same distance, pretty much. I do like the design of this dash, and I did drive the Ram and the GMC 2500 Sierra, and I like the layout a little bit better. They all have their little info screen things there, and their nav, and everyone has their own little way of doing things. Maybe because I'm somewhat of a fanboy, I've always owned Fords, except for my Lexus I had, and and I also had a Toyota, and I had a Honda. But anyway, those are just little cars. But as far as trucks goes, I've always had Fords, so I'm a little biased. But I did drive them all, did give them a fair shot, and they just were coming up a little short. So that's why I got this guy. Plus, I was getting a really good deal on it down here at El Cajon Ford in San Diego. So let's move to the rear real fast, so we can kind of wrap up this video. Nothing crazy back here, nothing to scream about, nothing weird. I got the storage box underneath here, but unfortunately with the kids' car seat strapped down, well, you're not lifting up that seat. So I did pile a bunch of crap in there. I have oil, tools, and coolant. I always carry stuff like that, and then I always put stuff in the big Ziploc bags as well, just in case they decide to want to spring a leak on me. They're not going to run all over the place. This is my sunshade. This is that heat shield. These things are like $50, and this was fitted for my F-150, but I still use it. It works. There's two of these 400 watt 110 volt AC plug-ins, and I don't know if they're on their own. There's one up there on the dash. I don't know if they're on their own inverters or if they share an inverter, so I'd have to look that up. But like I said, I've only had this truck for about a week or two and a half weeks. And another thing from the dealership, there's these lines here that have the wires in them for your defrost. Something got rubbed off the inside here. It's not a big deal. And also looked like they were rummaging around the truck on the lot, and then they scraped that. But when you're up here, you just can't see it, so it's not a big deal for me. I'm not going to have them try to pop this thing off, replace it. Like I said, anytime you have things dicked with, it doesn't matter who it is, if it's yourself, whatever, sometimes they don't go back correctly. So anyway, I'm not too worried about the small little things. I'm pretty fortunate I can afford something like this, so I'm just happy to have it, and I'm really happy to drive it. It's a really good experience. I'm not griping at all. But like I said, I'll do a update on this bed, because I got to get a bunch of those pavers down there. I got to redo this whole front yard. It looks like crap. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of pavers back here. We'll see how it goes. Can only do so much because it's only 250, so I only have, this is my payload. But anyway, guys, I'll do another update video after I throw those pavers in there and show you the liner and maybe some other gripes I have with the truck. All right, see you guys.